Welcome to the deep dive. We've got a really potent statement today from the National Mobilization Front of Afghanistan, the NMFA.
Hmm.
It's all about Russia's recent Supreme Court decision taking the Taliban off their list of terrorist
A
groups.
very significant move, yeah.
So our aim here is really to unpack the NMFA's reaction, understand why they're condemning this so strongly.
And to really get that, it helps to remember the timeline, right? August 2021, the Taliban takes over as U.S. forces leave.
Right, and Ghani departs.
Exactly. And, since then, Moscow has been, well, taking steps towards the Taliban, trying to normalize things a bit.
Okay, so that sets the stage. And this specific event we're diving into, Thursday, April 17th, 2025, a Russian judge, Oleg Nefedov, makes the ruling.
Yep. Suspends the previous ban,
Yep.
effective immediately.
So what's the immediate sort of gut reaction from the NMFA based on this statement?
It's incredibly strong. Their main point is that this decision by Russia is, and I'm quoting, far worse than the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a heavy comparison. Far worse than the invasion.
It really is. It stops you in your tracks.
So what's behind that? Why such an intense reaction, according to them?
Well, they argue Russia is basically ignoring, completely disregarding the Taliban's anti-humanitarian crimes. That's the phrase they
Anti-humanitarian crimes.
Yeah. And they see this move as Russia essentially collaborating with a terrorist group. It's like saying Russia is signing off on what the Taliban does.
The language itself sounds very charged, very emotional.
Oh, absolutely. It's raw.
Yeah.
They accuse Russia of, let me get the wording right, trampling on the sanctity of the blood of martyrs of freedom, the people, and especially the crime against the women of Afghanistan.
That really paints a picture of deep grievance, doesn't it? Particularly highlighting the impact on women.
Definitely. It connects this political decision directly to the suffering they see on the ground, especially for women under Taliban rule. And now it feels like Russia's endorsing that from their perspective.
So what's their take on why? Why do they think Russia made this move? What are the motives in the NMFA's view?
They're pretty blunt about it. The statement says Russia has never been a true friend of the Afghan people.
Okay.
Their view seems to be that Russia always looks out for, number one, its own interests. And they add that Russia is willing to sacrifice any country, mainly because of its hostility towards the U.S.
So it's framed within that larger geopolitical conflict, that rivalry.
Exactly. It suggests this long history of, well, distrust towards Russia's intentions in Afghanistan.
And their direct reaction to the court's decision itself, is it just condemnation or...
Oh, it's explicit. They strongly condemn the action by the Russian court. No mincing words. They see it as fundamentally wrong and harmful.
Okay. And finally, what are they hoping to achieve with this statement? Is there a call to action?
Yes, there is. They directly address the president of Russia.
Certain.
They once again ask him to reconsider the court's decision. And they frame this appeal in defense of the 40 million people of Afghanistan who are the main victims of terrorism.
So focusing on the human element, the victims.
Right. Putting the spotlight back on the Afghan people and positioning them as the ones who suffer most from terrorism, and implicitly from decisions like this one.
So if we just boil it down, the NMFA is essentially saying this isn't just a legal change. It's Russia betraying the Afghan people and giving a green light almost to the Taliban's actions after all this time.
That sums it up pretty well, yeah. It's a message of deep disappointment, maybe even a sense of abandonment, and real fear about what this means for Afghanistan's future, given Russia's apparent alignment now.
It certainly makes you think about the complexities, doesn't it? How nations balance their strategic interests against, international norms or designations regarding groups like the Taliban. What does this move really tell us about the shifting sands of power in Central Asia? Something to ponder. Thanks for unpacking that with us today.